And now there is news coming in from Uttar Pradesh. In fact, before we go to Uttar Pradesh, let's take a look at that very statement that has been made by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister there, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, where he's requested the centre to declare the situation of rains and flooding in his state as a national calamity. And he's further gone on to state that he will be submitting a detailed report which is about this big disaster. He claims it that this is the biggest disaster that he's ever seen. For the last 2 days, at around 4 to 5 lakh people in the state are without power, food and water. He goes on to say that the government is doing its best. We have been able to mobilize but the last mile reach is the biggest challenge, he claims. And he also goes on to say that the government has been able to reach 70% of the people, and by tomorrow it is going to be reaching all the people in the state. Let's take a look at the conversation that he had with CNN News 18.
Much for your time. I want to understand, looking at the scale of devastation, you just said this is the biggest disaster that you've seen. What kind of help are you going to reach out for center?
Now, first of all, they have to declare national disaster. There are some guidelines. On the basis of that, Government of India has to study and give for rebuilding who are all lost because of this disaster. That is what we are going to present. One side, agriculture crops, huge loss. Second side, some assets we have lost. Third one, this Vijayawada city is totally lost because of all these things. All these things will project for National Calamity Fund.
Will you be seeking a National Calamity status also for this entire disaster?
No, we request Government of India. They are having some guidelines, all these things. But it is our duty to present before them.
Sir, you have turned Vijayawada Collectorate into your home office also. I want to understand, you've been relentlessly going around. What is the scale of devastation right now, and how long is it going to take for entire normalcy to return?
Now, for the last 2 days, around 4 to 5 lakh people don't have power. And also, they don't have water. They don't have food, they are suffering, they cannot move freely because of water. Some people are suffering because of moving in that. Even without having water, they are there for the last 2 days. This is the biggest suffering. But government is doing its best to meet their requirements. We are able to mobilize any amount of water, but problem is to reach the last mile people. That is the biggest challenge.
And approximately how long is it going to take for the situation?
Tomorrow, today, more or less, we are able to reach 60-70%. Tomorrow, we will reach 100%. And then I want to go for saturation.
My last question, sir, very quickly. YSRCP has accused you of not taking enough preparedness. How do you respond to that?
I am asking you, what is preparedness? I am here only. Who will respond better than this? Yesterday incident happened. Same day evening I telephoned to Central Home Minister. Next day morning by helicopter, by flights, special flights, our central forces come. Then what do they want? Around 120 power boats we are able to get it with the central government. 6 helicopters we are operating. What is the preparedness? They don't know anything. Fundamentals they don't know. There is no gates for Budameru. They are saying I opened gates or I didn't open gates. Even there is no concern. It is on the other side of the Krishna. My house is on the other side of Krishna. To save my house, I have diverted water. What rubbish. Without knowing subject, these people are talking. That means they wanted to cheat people. Nobody will be cheated. I am warning them. They have to learn subject, follow some fundamental principles in politics. Then only people will appreciate.
So your message to the people who are watching you on national TV?
No, always we are proactive. This is one incident which is the biggest incident we are handling. And at the same time, we need Government of India's support. We are seeking their support.
My colleague Swastika Das, who's just had that conversation with Chandrababu Naidu, is with us on the broadcast. Swastika, Chandrababu Naidu not only talking about the assistance that's required from the centre, he's also taking on his detractors in the accusation that's been levelled against his government via YSRCP.
That's right. In fact, the YSRCP has accused him of mismanagement, unpreparedness, and there was a sharp reply from the Chief Minister in that conversation. He says, I have been in fact at the collectorate for the last 2 days, monitoring the situation, trying to make ends meet, reach out to the central government, get an NDRF, all the resources on the ground. But very quickly, just taking a cue away from the question that you asked, I want to establish the situation right now on the ground in Vijayawada. This is HB Colony, Bhavanipuram, one of the worst affected areas. You can see the water is stagnated here. It has not moved since the last 3 days. Of course, there has been some improvement in the level of water. It was up until, let's say, till the wall of that shop, almost 3 feet high, but now the level has come down. But it is the stagnation which remains a big concern, because the drains are clogged. You can see plastics on the road, and just take a look at how life has come to a crippling standstill. All the people from the other side, this is a very big colony in fact, all the people from the other side of the road are wading through knee-deep waters now to just find provisions. And in talking about provisions, on the other side there is a tractor in fact from the government side to distribute food, water, medicines. But what is also interesting, I want to point out, is the way civic volunteers have come forward to help others in need. And joining me is a man, in fact, he owns an auto. I've been seeing him distribute food to practically everyone. These are his children, in fact. Schools are shut in AP, but they have done their bit clearly. I want to understand, sir, you've been coming here since the last 3 days. What is the situation? What about food, water? I know you were distributing food there.
Everywhere black, madam. Before 3 days, there is no way to come in also. The situation is very dangerous. No one understanding what is happening here. And they are telling Budaveru that canal was
the breach.
Yeah. So that only this water came like this, they are telling. But mainly from 2 days to we are giving food to the people.
Okay.
This is the second day for me. But a very dangerous situation. All the people, they cannot go out, and they cannot, even they do not have drinking water also here. Now government has come yesterday, and they are giving food and water. And some local candidates who are interested, they are supplying food. Yesterday we have supplied on boats only. After the rest of government.
The boats are working here.
Yeah.
Okay, I also want to quickly understand, because you have a lot of kids here. I am seeing water is stagnating. What about medicines? Have you been given any medicines as of now?
Yesterday they asked. Yesterday night they asked me to bring some medicines. I have planned to bring, but today they are coming. Government people, they are coming and giving excess food and medicines like that.
All right. So yes, all hands on the deck.